So I made a video the other day asking people why do they tell their dogs to sit, to down, to heel, to place. I didn't get any feedback on that video, which I'm not surprised by considering this is a new channel or page, what have you. But I want to talk about that because I already feel like I know why people do this. One reason is because society says that's what you're supposed to do with dogs. People never even question it. They just go, this is how you're supposed to do things. But if we really look closely, people tell their dog to sit because they don't want their dog jumping up. They don't want the dog to go over to the other dog. They'll tell their dog to down because they don't want the dog going over to the other table when they're at the restaurant. They'll tell their dog to heel because they don't like their dog pulling them. They will tell their dog to place because they don't want the dog to get involved with what they're doing at the door. These are just some of the reasons why they might give these commands. So I look at how dogs communicate, and I never see dogs communicating with one another in this way. And we have to understand that dogs can only think like dogs, and they expect us to think like them. This is what Brandon Fouché is always talking about. And it's the truth. So I look at communicating with dogs in the way that they do as much as possible, but I have to approach it still from a human way because I'm not a dog. But I follow the principles. And I only say what I do not like because this is what I see dogs doing. And they do it in a way that influences the other emotionally, mentally and emotionally. And they do this through the way that they show up, their personality. They do it through intimidation. And we might not like that word, intimidation. We could replace it with a lot of different things. Like there's a lot of different ways to say the same thing. So a parent tells their child to stop doing something. They're saying, look, if you don't stop doing this, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be something that takes place. I always say, I didn't know what my full name meant until I didn't listen to it. And so when my dad said Scott Douglas Elliott, or typically it was more of my mom that would approach it like that, then I didn't listen, and then there was consequences. So then when I heard that, I said, hey guys, I gotta go. Because it's how it works. I learned. Just like I learned to not touch the hot stove through getting burnt. So, if I want to communicate with my dog honestly and really teach them what it is that I do not like, because when we say, oh, I need to tell my dog to sit because I don't like them jumping, I don't like them jumping. So how about we communicate, hey, I don't like you jumping, and we get that across to them in a mental and emotional way. And then we also have to look at what kind of things do we do with our dogs. Are we roughhousing with them? Are we playing tug of war and then complaining that the dog is being physical with us? Are we allowing the dog to climb all over us and we rub them up because we go, oh, how cute, they love me? Like, we have to see things very clear, because we might be feeding into and producing the very problem that we don't like. And so if we're then just saying, I don't like this, but then we're saying, I do like this, that's very confusing. So if I'm at the restaurant and my dog goes to the other table and I don't like that, I again communicate in a way that reaches them mentally and emotionally and makes them feel, ooh, that's hot. I don't want to go. I don't want to go over there. And so I'm teaching them how to be within the environments that we go into. And what happens is they start to learn what not to do. So I don't need to tell my dogs to down. They don't need to sit. They can stand, they can sit, they can lie down. That's up to them. What I really care about is I don't want them jumping up on the table and stealing food. I don't want them going and harassing the other table over there of people that we have no idea of who they are. So we gotta be honest. If I don't want my dog to pull, I don't teach heel. I make them feel that they shouldn't be in front of me. And it's so much quicker because they understand what I'm actually communicating. I was watching this guy on the drive to drop off this dog, and he's out there flipping back and forth. The dog goes in front of him, he flips around and goes the other way. I'm like, how neurotic does that look? Really, he just isn't saying the truth and saying, hey, I don't want you in front of me. And so if I don't want my dog getting involved in the door when I answer it, I let him know, hey, don't get involved in this while I'm doing it. I don't like what you're doing. But I also have to see that if I'm coming home through this door and I'm going, oh, hi, buddy, how are you? This is what they start to learn. This is how we operate when dealing with the door. There's lots of things that we have to look at because we might be teaching, feeding again into the very thing that we do not like. So I tell the dogs the truth. I do not lie to them. I do not make them sit. I do not make them down. I do not make them heel. I do not make them place. I think it's a waste of time, energy, and if, again, you're going in that professional route, I've said this before, it's then a waste of money. And I understand that there are, it might be a big leap for you because society says to do it like this and not to do it like the way that I do it. Maybe that's why it could be a big leap. There might be some things going on for you that makes it a big leap. Like there's factors, and we're all on a journey. But to me, I don't do that stuff. I don't like the relationship that it creates. It's way too much control. It's not fun to do. It's not really what I'm looking for. So I don't do it. And so let me know if you have any questions, comments, or you want to share your opinion, especially if you don't understand, if you don't agree. I want to learn, and I'm interested in hearing from people. So look forward to it.